strap yourself in. The Constitution and our Bill of Rights, according to our next guest, they've never been in greater peril than they are right this very moment.
Former Governor of Minnesota, Jesse Ventura, is the author of the new book, American Conspiracies. Good morning to you, Governor.
Morning.
All right, so on its face, when we say that, a lot of people have said that in the last year, that the Constitution is under fire, but I think you have a different take on it.
Well, it's under fire because look what's happened. They've gutted the Fourth Amendment, illegal search and seizure. They've gutted, what is it? Shoot, I can't think of the word. It's 4 a.m. for me. You know, I came from Mountain Time. With the right to a lawyer. You can't,
sure.
You know, they can now charge you with terrorism. They can hold you without letting you see a lawyer.
Miranda rights.
Yeah, not Miranda, but, no, it's another term. It'll come to me as soon as we go off the air.
Anyway, it has you upset.
Yeah, well, it doesn't have me upset, but it has me gravely concerned that we continue to see an erosion of our rights in this country and our freedoms. And they do this. I remember when George Bush said they attacked us because they're jealous of our freedom. So the solution is take our freedoms away and then they won't attack us? Right. Is that what they're saying?
Well, I know that you feel that the federal government was in on September 11th. We're not going to talk about that.
Sure.
That is plowed ground for us. So let's talk about how you see a conspiracy with the Tea Parties.
With the Tea Parties, I see it because where were they when the Fourth Amendment was habeas corpus? They've suspended habeas corpus. I knew it would get to me. Where were those guys who protesting when we lost habeas corpus, when they violate the Fourth Amendment of illegal search and seizure? They were nowhere to be found at that point in time.
Well, you know the story, and I know you live in Mexico, but the whole Tea Party,
here half the year.
The whole Tea Party thing got started on a cable news channel out on a trading floor one day when, you know, at the zenith of the bailout frenzy, and he said, you know, we ought to have another Tea Party of sorts, and that's where that started.
Well, maybe it did, but why didn't they do it initially then when George Bush did the first bailout?
Because I think one of the things that inspired the Tea Partiers, though, was the massive spending. That's sort of what got the whole movement going.
Frustration.
And there wasn't massive spending prior to that?
No, I'm not saying there wasn't.
There was huge massive spending. It's been going on for 12 years now, massive spending.
So I understand your point that finally maybe it just got too much to these people who belong to the Tea Party and they finally came out. I want to get your thoughts on the bailouts because, speaking of massive spending, where do you fall on that?
Well, it's difficult. You know, I'm not a Harvard economist or anything. I don't think anyone really knows. I think it's a roll of the dice that they're hoping. You know, it started with President Bush. He did the bailout, and all Republicans voted for it. And then when Barack Obama does the bailout, all Republicans vote against it. So I'm more concerned over these two parties because they don't have the United States of America first. They have their party first. They vote for their party first, and the United States comes second or third.
So one would think that you'd be in line with the Tea Party movement then.
I would be in line with them if they were also protesting, as I said, the suspension of habeas corpus in this country, the violation of our Fourth Amendment rights that have been trashed and still go on today trashed, illegal search and seizure. You know, if they were doing all of those things, I would probably be more in support of them. But then again, isn't Sarah Palin part of them?
Not officially.
If she is, then I won't be a part of it.
You're not a fan of Sarah Palin?
No, she's a quitter.
Because she was governor for a while and
to me, you make a commitment to the voters. When you tell them you want to be governor, I'm willing to do this job. You don't quit halfway through to go reap profits and make millions of dollars. And that's what she did.
Of politicians on the national scale, national level, Jesse, who do you like? Anybody? There's got to be one.
I don't know. Is there an independent out there?
Well,
I don't like
Joe Lieberman, but you don't like him because he left a political party.
Yeah, you know, to me, you're not really an independent unless you run as one.
So you just don't like anybody in politics today?
I don't have nothing against them. Don't say I don't like them. I just don't like the parties. I don't like, don't get it wrong. It's not individuals. I despise the two parties.
Right.
Despise them. Actually, they're ruining our country.
There's millions of people who actually agree with you on that. A lot of your conspiracies, maybe not, but they probably do agree with you.
Well, let me just say about this book, this is not my imagination. I didn't make up the information in there. All of it is documented. You can see it in the back of the book if you need to go.
That's right.
So this is built upon, it's like putting together it's like throwing a jigsaw puzzle on the floor. And you start, as documents come, pieces of the jigsaw. Will you get the whole thing? No. but you'll get enough of the picture to understand what's true or not.
All right, it's called American Conspiracies. Governor Jesse Ventura, thank you very much.
Thank you.
It's always interesting to have you on the couch.
The final thing, how come the Three Stooges on Later at Night won't have me on? That's what I call them. Larry, Moe, and Curly.
Yeah?
O'Reilly, Hannity, and Curly.
Really?
Yeah, they won't have me on.
Maybe it's because you call them that. I'm not sure.
I just did that today.
Okay.
I did that because they won't
I don't think that
me
helped your chances, but
Good.
anyway.
Well, they won't have me on anyway. They don't have the courage.
Never one to not speak his mind. Governor Ventura, good to see
Thank you. All right.
Coming up on the show, somebody else who speaks his mind, Rush